I honestly can't recall if Governor Murphy introduced the sanctuary state idea before or after the primaries. Because once he got through the primaries, it was just smooth sailing. Chris Christie destroyed the Republican brand so statewide, so it was like rather easy. But I'm not sure if this was brought up in the primaries how this would have played out. Murphy AG, Attorney General, warns New Jersey sheriffs, don't go behind my back to work with ICE. This is being brought to us by NJ.com and SP Sullivan. From New Jersey Advanced Media. Thank you guys so much. And the deal is that it's been a bad idea from jump. And them bringing all these different people in from outside of the state really goes to show you the takeover, the establishment takeover of the state establishment. I mean, Sweeney is kicking and screaming right now about the budget, and whereas what he's saying is 100% accurate, he was also there the entire time. So it's like, bruh, you like your hands are dirty too. There are no heroes in Trenton. And now when it comes to the sanctuary state thing, I'm not sure that wouldn't have flown. I mean, we got a couple of very progressive communities here in Jersey, definitely, but for the most part, the state's traditionally insanely conservative, ridiculously segregated, and it's just like any other place in this country. You got your sections, everybody's warded off, and it is what it is. And what the establishment that's coming in and taking over has been doing has been really ushering in just waves upon waves of immigrants and migrants and placing them in the red line districts, And so here we have, so these people aren't particularly affected because it's not hitting them, but it's slowly starting to seep out because of the size of the state. So I just did my best framing. Let's get into this article. State law enforcement officials are accusing sheriffs in two New Jersey counties of failing to inform the state's attorney general that they are helping federal immigration authorities capture and deport undocumented immigrants. In a pair of sternly worded letters to elected sheriffs in Monmouth and Cape May counties, Monmouth and Cape May, definitely on the they ain't messing around. They are not gonna mess around. No. That's so, oh my goodness. Top officials in State Attorney General Gabir Grewal's office say the county sheriffs violated a directive Grewal issued earlier this year seeking to limit cooperation between New Jersey cops and immigration and customs enforcement, which makes no sense because you're undermining your own authority when you do that. When we have law enforcement that sits there and bucks against law enforcement, then what do you think outlaws and criminals going to take that as? It's like, oh, word? Even the feds is saying? I mean, not the feds, but because we know that there is this inherent power struggle between each and every single law enforcement agency ever. True enough, y'all don't like each other, fine, but the residents of Jersey, the legal residents of Jersey, the natives of this land, they are the ones catching the short end of the stick when you do things such as this. And I'm talking about upend just authority in general. Because the way the layers are is that you have your local municipal laws, then you have your county laws in many cases, then you have your state laws in many cases, and then you have really all cases, and then you have the federal government. And each one is it's a, how do I put it? It's an upside down pyramid as far as power goes, because you got that local and the local and jurisdictional law that is really the most important law to you. Then you have the state law, which is far more important, but just not as powerful. Then you got the federal law, and federal law supersedes the ones below it. So thusly, and if you feel that the law is unjust, true enough, but it's not something that you sit there and make a show of, as the state has with this whole sanctuary debacle, because you're just sending out this message that, we can, screw the laws. They highlight the tension between federal authorities and President Donald Trump's administration, who have sought to ramp up deportation of unauthorized residents. New Jersey law enforcement officials who want no part of the crackdown, and county and local police who remain divided over the issue. The letters sent to the sheriffs by Division of Criminal Justice Director Veronica Allende on Saturday and Monday, and obtained by New Jersey Advanced Media, note that the two counties recently renewed agreements with ICE that essentially deputize sheriff's officers as federal immigration agents. Grewal, who was appointed by Democratic Governor Phil Murphy, Plant, and has sparred with the Trump administration over immigration, the environment, and consumer protection, among other issues, announced last year he was overhauling the state's policies for working with federal immigration officials. The Attorney General's Immigrant Trust Directive, which went into effect in March, seeks to limit police cooperation with ICE to criminal matters rather than civil immigration proceedings. And here's the deal. If you go through any of the once black and urban towns of New Jersey, yeah, black is not particularly, popping off as hard as it once had. Trust and believe. The Attorney General, critics, including some county sheriffs, said the directive turned New Jersey into a sanctuary state, which is what they said they were going to do. Grewal countered that local police officers are not immigration agents and that undocumented immigrants were less likely to report crimes or cooperate as witnesses if they could not easily distinguish between the two. But Grewal, their entire presence is a crime, though. It's like I was saying with, the I hate the remakes, so why would I even care about the Little Mermaid thing? It's like you have the base problem, right? And so thusly the base problem so they're going to have an issue no matter what, because they are not here legally. Their entire presence is a crime, sir. I know it's hard to understand, but it really shouldn't be, because, hey, if you are caught in the middle of a burglary, let's say you and your partner shoot each other, you shoot your partner in the middle of a burglary, right? And your partner leaves, and then the people come home and you're sitting there bleeding out. I mean, would you be upset if they didn't rush to the phone to get you an ambulance, Like, come on. At the time, sheriff's offices in 3 New Jersey counties, Cape May, Monmouth, and Salem, still had existing agreements with ICE under a program dubbed 287G, which allows state and local law enforcement to act as a force multiplier for ICE. Several counties had earlier done away with the agreements in New Jersey, mainly applied to officers in county jails. Salem County is no longer listed among its participants. Messages left with sheriff officers in Cape May and Monmouth counties seeking comment were not immediately returned Monday evening. In May, a spokesman told the Record newspaper that the Monmouth County Sheriff's Office never wants to be faced with a situation where a dangerous undocumented alien could be released from jail and into a community in Monmouth County. That sounds like Monmouth County. And they like, what the hell? No, we keep those Negroes away. What do you think we want? No, we don't want them here. It's funny because it's true. Jurisdictions in 21 states take part in the program, which has expanded in recent years, according to ICE. Federal officials say the program allows ICE to actively engage criminal alien offenders while incarcerated in a secure and controlled environment, which sounds like it helps ICE officials, who are our countrymen that we want to make sure are safe and secure, right, Mr. Grewal? Grewal's directive did not explicitly prohibit such agreements, but ordered any agency seeking to renew or enter into such a deal to seek permission from his office, which oversees all law enforcement agencies in New Jersey, which there are 564 of, which is insane to me. I've always thought that was just one of the nuttiest things. If I'm telling you, if I were ever in office, I would sit there. We would have to be consolidating a lot of these law enforcement agencies, because, man, 560 for this little bit of area, this little bit of space. Come on, man. In the letters, Allendale wrote that her office had received no notification that Cape May and Monmouth had renewed their ICE deals. She first learned of the deals Friday when she was contacted by a reporter about the renewals, Allendale wrote. The fact that no one in your office ever notified the Attorney General's office of the renewal suggests that you deliberately declined to disclose this information over the past 4 months, each letter state. Which is true. Why would they? You sat there and said that you want to be a sanctuary state. They disagree. You sat there and you're thumbing your nose up at the federal law. So why would the county laws not sit there and thumb their nose up at your law, at your state law? Does this not make sense? Do you not see what you've done? Like, you've created your own problem right here. Allendale gave the sheriffs an August 6 deadline to provide more information about the agreement, after which Grewal would issue another directive banning officers in the 2 counties from working with ICE. The letters leave room for the deals to remain in place if the Attorney General finds they serve a valid law enforcement purpose. So these are the letters, and we're not going to read through all of them. These are apparently very sternly worded. Don't you dare continue to work with the president, you bad. I mean, come on, man. How childish is this? How ridiculous is this? Because you're all law enforcement. You're supposed to be on the side of catching the bad guys. Like, what happened? When did cops and robbers get so complicated? I don't know. But they sitting there wilding, and yeah, you wonder why we're having all the issues that we're having. Like, yo, come on. This is ridiculous. So let me know what you think in the comments, because as far as I'm concerned over here, when you sat there and thumbed your nose up at the federal laws, this was to be expected, right or not? Because it's just, we know there's a power struggle. That power struggle will always be there. But at the end of the day, when it comes to law enforcement, it should always be, about catching the bad guy, not sitting there fighting amongst each other. It shouldn't be about who gets any kind of credit or anything else like that. The credit and the good feel should come in taking dangerous and bad people off the streets. And unfortunately, when it comes to immigration, people who are here illegally, because guess what? I'm sorry if you are here illegally. I wish the best for you, but it's in its name, it's in the name, illegal. So with that being said, all the internet stuff, like it if you liked it or dislike it, I ain't scared. Sub if you enjoy my fantastic voice and want to get more interesting videos like this every single day. Share, because sharing is caring. YouTube's not going to do it. And speak. Let me know what you think in the comments. This kind of petty and childish for the law enforcement to be bickering amongst itself about the application of law enforcement. I mean, it's something that takes place every day, true enough. But when you thumb your nose up and you declare yourself a sanctuary state, do you not open yourself up to such things? Let me know what you think in the comments. And until the next one.